I'm Ron DeLegge with ETFguide. Great to see you again. Financial markets have been on fire, so I've got some charts I want to share with you. Also, some exciting announcements for ETF Guide TV and our channel, and for all of our viewers, so stick around for that. Let's dig into what's on your mind, beginning with uh, a poll that was done right here on ETF Guide TV in the Community tab. I asked you, which of these ETF categories are you considering for increasing your portfolio's yield income? And I was really curious about this because there continues to be a high level of interest by all investors in getting lots of yield, especially alternative yield. And so look at this. Almost 70% of you said covered call ETFs are the top area that is on your radar. And this category, by the way, has been one of the biggest in terms of asset growth and just sheer number of products. So I'm not surprised to see that be the top choice. High yield bonds. And then you have some of these more esoteric ETFs and a category tracking CLOs, CATs, and alternative income. CATs being catastrophic bonds, CLOs, collateralized loan obligations. Try saying that 10 times. And then other. We had some comments of other that have been adding to the high yield area in order to extract a little bit more yield. Now, of course, we saw the U.S. Federal Reserve did lower interest rates. We're going to take a look at the impact on some of the ETFs, the top ones across the major asset classes in just a second. But I wanted to dovetail on this point of covered call income and bring to your attention, I think, one of the top gold income ETFs out there that gets almost very little recognition, that deserves your attention. It's ticker symbol USG from USCF Investments, and it owns physical gold as an asset. That's the underline. It's aiming to track that, and it uses derivatives to generate covered call income on that physical gold. And so you can see USG, this is a chart comparing its performance versus the gold ETF, ticker symbol GLD, from State Street Global. You can see it's slightly lagged in terms of performance, up 32% versus 40% for regular gold with no income. But, and here's the detail, is that USG currently has a yield in the vicinity of about 6%. So think about this in terms of your total return, and you're coming up pretty close to what gold's performance is. If we take this performance return, 32 plus 6, 38 compared to 40%. So you're slightly lagging gold itself. But my point is this, is if gold is flat or goes negative, which is entirely possible, you're going to see income still coming in. That income level is going to vary, obviously, which is not guaranteed, but USG attempts to bring in that monthly cash flow, which is great on an asset like gold, which has no dividends and generates no earnings. So those of you that are into commodities, into metals, but looking for kind of a different slant in terms of generating income on that holding, this would definitely be an ETF to check out, again, USG. So let's take a look at the major asset classes and the ETFs tracking them. This takes a look at, now this is year-to-date performance. That means it's since the beginning of 2025 through the market close of September 19th. And you can see the clear away winner continues to be Bitcoin. And right behind it, you got commodities, SDCI, one of the best core broad-based commodity ETFs out there, 5-star rated. And those of you that don't have commodities inside your portfolio, check out SDCI. It's a good one. That has been a top performer. And then, of course, you've got SPY, which tracks SP 500. And then some of these other areas that were previously laggards, adding a little bit incrementally to their gains. You got global real estate, REET. And then, of course, the U.S. bond market, ticker symbol BND. Now, let's drill down and take a look at the industry sector performance of the S&P 500. There's 11 sectors. And look at this. All 11 are up. So that's very bullish. And it just shows you, again, the strength of this market rally. And you got those leading sectors, communication services, technology, and industrials. We're going to talk a little bit later about technology. I got a chart from Bloomberg, an updated chart with the Bloomberg Billionaire Index that's directly linked and related to the technology sector. Those of you that are regulars for ETF Guide TV and this program, these weekend updates, you kind of probably already know, but I'm going to update these numbers to you and connect it with technology. That has been a great performing sector. And of course, there's so many good things happening in that sector, not just, cloud computing and software, but now this next iteration, you got demand for chips, especially specialized chips for artificial intelligence, the growth of data centers, of course, blockchain technology. I mean, there's a lot going on in the technology sector, and it's got a lot of growth still behind it. So that's what's going on in terms of sectors. Now, let's take a look at one particular area which demands your attention. And we've got an upcoming episode that's going to talk all about nuclear and uranium with John Champanelli from Sprott Asset Management. It's coming down this week. It's going to drop on this channel, Metals in Motion. John just came back from his London trip to the World Nuclear Symposium, and he's going to give us some updates about what's going on there. And if you have not been paying attention to uranium and to the whole nuclear sector, it's on fire. I mean, you got one of the best performing stocks in that area, Oklo. Is it Oklo? OKLO? I mean, that stock, it started out as a SPAC. It's been on fire, but that whole sector of nuclear power companies, startups, small caps in the nuclear sector have been really good performers. And of course, what does nuclear require as a fuel source? Uranium. So this is what we've got charted here: uranium, RUNM, and then of the uranium miners, junior, URNJ. Both of these ETFs hit a different part of the uranium market, and certainly you got to put these particular ones on your radar. Strong performance across the board on uranium, and as we see more demand for nuclear power, nuclear energy, that's going to require more uranium. So again, stay tuned for that upcoming episode of Metals in Motion with John at Sprott Asset Management. It's going to be exciting. Bloomberg Billionaires Index. So take a look at this, and I want you to notice, and I always point this out, because look at the industry sector where the greatest wealth is concentrated. These are the top 10 billionaires across the globe. What do you notice? It's technology. Only one billionaire in the top 10 is not in the technology sector. The rest are all in technology. Elon Musk, Larry Ellison had a big jump in his net worth. Zuckerberg, Bezos, Page, Brin, Ballmer, I mean, the who's who. And so the point here is, from an investor's perspective, I don't want you just to gawk at these numbers and say, oh, look how filthy rich these people are. Think about it, though, in terms of where the big money made their money, and then also how they're allocated. And so I think there's a lesson here for all of us from an allocation perspective. This is where the wealth is being created, is in the technology sector. And I think that's not going to change. You've got AI, you've got quantum computing, you've got so many things happening in the technology sector. Like I said, cryptos are part of that, blockchain technology. This is where wealth is being created. And so this is the lesson that you need to take away from this. So the big announcement is ETFguide has released its first 2 online courses led by yours truly. The first one is Habits of the Investing Greats. The other one is Retire Securely. The point here, the reason we've done this at ETFguide is to help educate you and also improve and upgrade your skills as an investor. Those of you that are do-it-yourself investors or traders, this is the whole point, is to help you improve yourself so that you can hopefully improve your bottom line results. So each of these courses is free. For some of them, you do have to qualify. There are a few questions. We're not just going to let anybody in. But the point here is that these are designed for you, especially those of you that, for example, the Retire Securely course, for those of you nearing retirement or already in retirement, that's a course that you definitely need to take. It's going to help you appreciate and understand how retirement today is different than retirement of previous generations. Mounting debt, higher tax rates in the future, Social Security, which looks quite shaky. All these things mean that you're going to have to rewire the way you think about retirement, specifically your buckets of money, your taxable money, your tax-free money, your tax-deferred money. And so that particular course will help you to have the right strategy and also to understand what's putting your retirement well-being at risk, and then how to overcome that. The habits course, this is taken from my book that was written a couple years ago, Habits of the Investing Greats. We've put it into an interactive format with question and answer and quizzes, and it's really quite excellent. So I encourage you to hit the description section below for the link, and you can enroll for free. And again, this is just the first two in our growing library of online classes. More are coming, so be sure to enroll for free. We've got upcoming episodes this upcoming week. Metals in Motion, we told you about that. We're going to be focusing on uranium and nuclear and some of the big trends happening there. We've also got an episode, a new one of ETF Battles that's going to be dropping. And then we also dropped a September issue or episode of First Look ETF with the New York Stock Exchange. If you missed that, hit our playlist for First Look ETF, and you'll be able to catch that there. And then we've also got other episodes for Directions playlist, USCF Investments playlist, ETFK Retire. I mean, we're stacked with programming here at ETFguide TV. We also, speaking of ETF battles, this battle is going to focus on one from, all of our battles are audience requested. This one comes from Gladstone, who's been patiently waiting for this one. So it's got a lot of cues in it, and it's going to be some craziness. I mean, this is a quadruple header that we're going to be doing. And these episodes, by the way, do take a lot of time and effort to produce and put out. I mean, I wish I could do it daily, but these are just the types of episodes that require a lot of analysis by our judges and a lot of preparation by our editing team. It's not just me who's putting the content together. So it's a lot of effort and work, and we'd rather do it right than do it fast and wrong. So Gladstone, pay attention. Your battle request is coming up next. And also for those of you that are investing for retirement, maybe you're looking to add ETFs specifically to your 401k retirement plan, that's available too, etfk.com. And that's about it for today's episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's program. Let me know in the comment section how your portfolio has been performing in 2025. What have been some of your top ETF picks, your top ETF trades? Lots of good stuff happening. That could be anything from a broad-based index, maybe a sector fund, even a single stock ETF. What's been working for you? Again, hit me up in that comment section below. I'm Ron DeLegge with ETF Guide. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.